Moses was born into slavery in Egypt. Pharaoh decreed all Hebrew baby boys should be killed. Moses' mother hid him in a basket among the reeds on the Nile River. He was discovered by Pharaoh's daughter and raised in the Egyptian royal court. One day Moses saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave. He killed the Egyptian and fled into the desert. God appeared to Moses in a burning bush. He commanded Moses to return to Egypt and free the Israelites from slavery. Moses returned to Egypt and confronted Pharaoh. He demanded that Pharaoh let my people go. Pharaoh refused. God sent 10 plagues upon Egypt to convince Pharaoh to release the Israelites. God told Moses to instruct the Israelites to prepare for their departure. They were to sacrifice a lamb and mark their doorposts with its blood. This event, known as Passover, would spare them from the final plague, the death of the firstborn. The 10 plagues were dramatic and devastating. The Nile River turned to blood. Frogs, lice, and flies swarmed the land. Disease killed livestock. Boils covered the Egyptians. Hail and fire rained from the sky. Darkness covered Egypt for 3 days. Finally, God sent the 10th plague, the death of the firstborn. Every firstborn son in Egypt died, except for the Israelites who obeyed God's commands. Pharaoh, devastated by the loss of his son, finally agreed to release the Israelites. The Israelites left Egypt in a hurry. They carried their belongings and unleavened bread, as they had no time to let their bread rise. This event is remembered as the Exodus, the dramatic escape from slavery. Pharaoh, however, soon regretted his decision. He pursued the Israelites with his army. The Israelites found themselves trapped between Pharaoh's army and the Red Sea. God parted the Red Sea, allowing the Israelites to cross on dry land. When Pharaoh's army followed, the waters returned, drowning the Egyptian soldiers. The Israelites were free from Egypt, but their journey was far from over. They wandered the desert for 40 years. God provided for them with manna, a bread-like substance that appeared on the ground each morning. He also provided water from a rock. During this time, Moses ascended Mount Sinai. God gave him the 10 Commandments, the foundation of the Israelites' law and covenant with God. He also provided detailed instructions for building a portable sanctuary, the tabernacle, where he would dwell among his people. The Israelites, however, often struggled with doubt and disobedience. They complained about the lack of food and water. They even questioned Moses' leadership and longed for the days of slavery in Egypt. Despite these challenges, Moses remained a faithful and steadfast leader. He interceded for the Israelites with God, pleading for their forgiveness and guidance. He kept their faith alive with stories of God's power and promises. Moses led the Israelites to the border of the Promised Land, a land flowing with milk and honey. However, because of his disobedience at Meribah, he was not allowed to enter. He climbed Mount Nebo, where God showed him the land. Then Moses died at the age of 120. Though he did not live to see the fulfillment of God's promise, Moses' life and leadership left an enduring legacy. He is remembered as a prophet, lawgiver, and liberator who led his people out of slavery and towards the hope of a new life in the Promised Land.